Hey everyone. So today we're going to talk about something that's, well, it's deeply personal. It's becoming more and more common, but a lot of us go through it in silence. We're talking about caring for our aging parents. It's a journey, for sure. One that's full of complex emotions and, a lot of unexpected twists and turns.
Okay, let's just dive right in with this quote. It's from a 68-year-old daughter, and wow, it really gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? She says her life hasn't turned out how she thought because she never imagined she'd be responsible for her mother. I mean, that one sentence, it just captures a feeling so many of us have but maybe don't say out loud. That quiet, creeping realization that life is just not going according to the plan we had in our heads.
So that feeling, that really strange mix of love and duty and just how hard it all is, it actually has a name. And sometimes just putting a name to something can be the first, absolutely crucial step to figuring out how to handle it all.
Yeah, psychologists call this anticipatory grief. And the key word there is anticipatory. It's not the grief that comes after a loss. No, this is the grief that starts before. It's that slow-building sadness you feel when you watch the people who, once seemed so invincible, start to become more frail. In a way, it's a testament to how much we love them, right? The grief is just a reflection of that deep connection.
And this isn't just one single feeling, is it? It's more like a really complex cocktail of emotions. You've got sadness, obviously, mourning the loss of their vitality. Then there's anxiety, always buzzing in the background about the future. And the guilt, that one's a biggie. Am I doing enough? Am I a good enough son or daughter? And yeah, sometimes there's anger and frustration too. It's so powerful to break it down like this because then it's not just this big, overwhelming fog. You can see the individual parts.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. This whole personal journey, it's not happening in a vacuum. It's actually part of a massive and really recent shift in our society. We're living longer, which is great, but it's also creating this really interesting paradox for families. I mean, look at this. The fastest growing age group in the last decade, it's people over 90. Just let that sink in. People are living way longer than ever before. And what that means is, for the first time in basically all of human history, you have old children, people in their 60s, 70s, caring for their very old parents. We are in completely new territory here.
And this is why it can feel so jarring. It's what experts call an off-time life event. You spend your whole life working, raising kids, and you've got this picture of retirement in your head. Maybe it's travel, hobbies, or just freedom. And then, right at that moment, you find yourself taking on this huge new responsibility. It completely upends the timeline you thought your life was supposed to follow.
So to really get what's going on, you have to look at both sides of the coin. Because what the adult child is feeling and what the aging parent is feeling, well, they can be worlds apart, even though they're in the exact same boat together.
This table, it really lays it all out. Look at the child's side. They feel like their life is on hold. They're overwhelmed, stressed out. They might even feel like their parent doesn't see their struggle. But then, look at the parent's side. They're not oblivious. They're consumed with this feeling of being a burden. They're grieving their own independence. And, get this, they're often worried about the health of their own child who's caring for them. It's this heartbreaking mirror image of worry and guilt.
Okay, so we've laid out the challenges. It can feel pretty heavy, right? But just knowing this stuff is a huge first step. The next, and maybe even more important step, is figuring out, all right, how do I stay afloat through all this? Let's talk about some actual strategies.
And everything starts with this. You've heard this a million times, but it's so true. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And I want to be really clear here. Caring for yourself is not selfish. It is essential. It's the only way you're going to be able to keep showing up day after day without completely burning out.
So what does that actually look like? Well, here are 3 really concrete things. Number 1, set boundaries. It is okay to say no. In fact, you have to say no sometimes to keep resentment from bubbling up. 2, schedule breaks. And we're not talking a week-long vacation. Even just 5 minutes with a cup of tea can be a lifesaver. And 3, and this is maybe the hardest one for a lot of us, delegate and ask for help. You are not supposed to be doing this all by yourself.
And it's also about finding ways to just be normal again, to step outside of that caregiver and care recipient role. Keep up those simple routines like a Sunday brunch. Find a gentle activity you can still do together. The goal is to find moments where you're not just a caregiver, you're their son or daughter again, and they're your mom or dad. It's about connecting as people.
All right, so we've talked about coping, but it's not all just about surviving this. Believe it or not, this whole journey can be a chance to find a new kind of connection, a different, maybe even deeper sense of meaning.
And one of the most surprising tools in your toolbox? Humor. I know, it might sound a little weird to talk about laughter when things are so serious, but honestly, humor is an incredibly powerful way to build resilience. It's more than just a distraction. It's like finding a little crack of light in a dark room.
Think about what laughter actually does. It's a natural stress reliever. It literally releases endorphins. It can cut the tension before one of those we need to talk conversations. It makes things feel more human. A little bit of playfulness can transform a tough day.
Here's another really beautiful idea. Shift the focus to creating a legacy. Now, that sounds like a big word, but it doesn't have to be. It's really just about creating something together that will last. It gives you both a shared purpose beyond the day-to-day care.
And again, this can be super simple, like just pulling out the old family photo albums and going through them together. You know that's going to spark some amazing stories, and probably a lot of laughter. Or maybe you could encourage them to write letters to their grandkids. These simple acts, they become these incredible treasures that connect the generations.
Look, there's no way around it. This journey is one of the hardest, most complicated things any of us will ever do. It's messy, it's full of grief and frustration. But if we can manage to navigate it with compassion, not just for them, but for ourselves too, it can also be a time of really profound connection. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. How can we start to see this chapter not as an ending, but as a new and different kind of beginning?